this fool has shot me. So she told me, I'm going over Rara house. I said, B, you better take me to the hospital. Rara is not a doctor.
As soon as I walk in and saw her moving boxes, I was like, she better not ask me to move no boxes because I'm not going to do it.
I am carrying this baby that I know is no longer living inside of me.
I didn't know that God was about to show me that his love was far deeper than I could ever imagine. I didn't know that I was about to experience God's sovereign mercy and his grace, and that he's legit when he says that he loves you.
God, if God was somebody, an all-powerful being that would allow these things to happen.
God said, he said, why do you insist on climbing Mount Everest alone? Nobody climbs a mountain by themselves. And that's when I realized that I had let my walk with God go.
Came back benign, and the other one is cancerous. I have to say, I was at a loss for words.
It was that inside the car, the Holy Spirit of God invaded my mind. He interrupted my thoughts. He interrupted the radio program. And all that I could hear was him speaking to me more than I could even pay attention to what was going on the radio.
And it hit me. God said, didn't I make a way out of no way through your situation? Didn't I provide the ram in the bush for you all these times? Didn't I provide food on the table for you, Desiree? Didn't I, make a way out of no way when we were supposed to get 135 years and I shown you favor and you only served 4 years in prison? Didn't I make sure that you had a car to drive or a roof over your head? Didn't I make sure you had clothes on your back? And I said, yes. And then when I was going through the situation, and he was like, so what makes you think I'm not going to make a way out of no way for you this time?
In my life, if I was moving work, it was by the whole pound. I even had a couple of nightclubs that I was promoting and I was operating and running. Well, again, wicked, possessed, out there crazy. But let me tell you about the grace and the power of God.
God's mercy is so much more than we deserve. It's so much more than we could ask for.
Do you know that they changed the whole schedule just for me?
The thing that clicked in my mind is prayer. Fall on your knees and pray.
He then went from taking the gun from him, and the first place he put it was against my forehead.
But I still didn't get it. I went back to that same club.
God told me, I have to be enough for you.
And so while I'm sitting up in the Madison County Jail in a lockup cell, our daughter died in my arms. I must admit, I was mad at God.
And with a shadow, because I was sexually abused between the ages of 3 and 16.
That the scope of my grace is even deeper and broader than you have thought you couldn't imagine.
But even there, it's just this hunger began to I began to feel like this hole in my chest. And I remember I was just like, man, every night I would go to sleep and it was just like, is this life? Like, is this really what it is? Because if it is, it sucks.
And I told him I owed $11,000.
He told me that I was young and I could have kids later on to abort the baby. Said I started having sex with them. I didn't care if they were married or not. Sometimes they would talk to me about their wives, and I really didn't care.